what so proudly we hailed. Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And good evening, Chinook fans. We are back once more for more Chugiak Eagle River Chinook baseball. I am Caleb Duarte from Grand Canyon University, and I am joined by my partner once again, Ryan Beck. Ryan, a little cold, but how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I can't wait to get this baseball game underway. And, you know, this is Alaska. It gets a little chilly sometimes here in the summer. It's a brisk 50 degrees here with absolutely no sun, and it was raining here at the stadium earlier, but we're definitely looking forward to some high-caliber baseball.
And talking about high-caliber baseball, the Chinooks come in on a 5-game winning streak with a record of 6-5. The Matsu Miners have a record of 8-3. We saw these boys last week in a great win of 4-3 over these Miners. In their previous game, the Miners beat the Pilots June 18th, 8-5. And last night, we saw your Chinooks beat the Bucks in an impressive comeback attempt to win 4-3 over the Bucks after Aaron Shackelford had a 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 8th. Tonight, your Chinooks have a little different lineup out, but leading off and playing right field, Mike Capriz, batting second and playing center, Levi Gilcrease. In the third hole is the DH, Justin Gomez. In the cleanup spot, the third baseman, Luke Coffey. Brandon Mitchie, the Aussie, batting fifth and playing second. And the shortstop, Aaron Shackelford, will be batting sixth. Hayden Mixon, the first baseman on at first base, batting seventh for the Chinooks. Alex Crotty playing catcher, and then the squat batting eighth. And in the ninth hole, Jeremy Johnson out of Auburn University playing left field. Now, Ryan, these Chinooks have been on fire. What can we expect? Do we expect maybe John Groth? You know, we talk a lot about his aggressiveness, but we typically see a leadoff guy gets on, maybe a sac bunt. But with how these hitters are going, do you think maybe John Groth will let these hitters hit more, or do you think we'll go back still to that sac bunt kind of play?
I know that as we play, that at least by the team we're playing, he's going to try and draw first blood in a sense that he wants to get the first runs across the board. He'll do it any way he can to get the early lead. As for hitting, he's definitely going to let some of them, but those who have the good foot speed, such as like Jeremy Johnson or Levi Gilcrease or even Mike Capriz, there's even the chance that he would have a bunt because he knows that they have the chance to be safe at first.
Well, that's a key to this ball game, is definitely getting ahead of these Miners is in this 5-game win streak. And really, the best 5 games they played all season, no question. The Chinooks have done a great job of getting ahead of their opponent and sticking to their lead and giving the lead to the bullpen. Tonight on the mound for the Matsu Miners is Andrew Nardi, the 6'3" left-hander out of Ventura Community College. He has started 2 games, and the first one was against the Chinooks when the Miners won 10-4. That was at the Chinooks home opener. Excuse me, the season opener, and he comes in with a 2-0 record with a 2.76 ERA. And it's baseball time now as the PA announcer says, let's play ball. And that means the Chinooks come to the plate. Mike Capriz out of Point Loma Nazarene University lead things off. Had a day off yesterday, but it was only for about 2/3 of the game as he came in to pitch hit for Hayden Mixon and Nardi, the first pitch of the ball game. In there for strike one. Mike Capriz comes into this game with a .256 batting average and 1 double and 43 at-bats, hoping to get things started here early. 0-1 pitch. And they have for strike 2. Now, Ryan, we've seen these umps go all over the place. Some umps like a low-range strike zone, some umps like a high strike.
The zones are a little bit all over the place this year, and it's kind of been interesting to watch. but I know there's, some are more consistent than others.
As Prees fouls at the backstop. And, you see it in the faces of these guys. It helps when you win. It kind of helps the stress go away. But I've seen some of these players just not happy with the strike zone and some frustration. As I remember last night, Aaron Shackelford thought he had a chance at that he would have been walked, and he ultimately struck out on the next pitch. And speaking of a pitch, here comes an 0-2-1 from Nardi. Down low for ball 1, 1-2 count facing the Chinook right fielder. On deck stands Levi Gilcrease, back up in the 2-hole after spending last few games in the 9-hole.
Yeah, the zones have always been a little bit different. Each umpire is not going to be the same.
And that's it at the second baseman, Brandon Chinea. Over to the first baseman, and that's going to be one away here.
Now batting, center fielder, number 10,
Levi Gilcrease now steps to the plate. Levi Gilcrease now steps to the plate with one away here in the top half of the first. The left-hander throws, and a big swing and a miss by Gilcrease. Gilcrease has definitely been putting the ball into play hard, but has not been able to find that much open green out there. Hoping to change that tonight as he faces the Miners. 0-1 pitch. And that's nubbed into left field and has a chance to drop, but that's going to be caught by the shortstop, Austin Boole. 2 away now as Justin Gomez steps to the plate. Gomez, player of the game last night, went 3 for 4. Started things off in the bottom half of the first with a 2-run double. And came around to score on the Aaron Shackelford RBI single to tie the game up as he represented that run. And he has been seeing the ball very well lately. Was in the squat last night behind the plate, now DHing 2 outs here.
Yeah, Gomez has definitely had some clutch hitting in the past couple of days. Just watching him, sit back on a ball and give it for a ride, putting it in the gap has definitely been fun.
Well, that's something we talked about earlier, Ryan, is he has been hitting the ball very well, and he's finding his groove lately. That was the thing with all Chinook hitters, especially guys like Gomez and Coffey, who's on deck, is they have the power to just put the ball out of the ballpark, but was struggling, or in Gomez's case, in the gap somewhere, as he's done frequently in the past few days, but has been struggling to find open ground. But for the most part, he has been able to find that 3-0 pitch now as Gomez watches that one down low for ball 3. And Nardi in danger of giving out a 2-out walk, 3-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. And Gomez is definitely going to be given the green light here.
2 outs and a hitter's count. Definitely going to be a green light.
Especially with Coffey on deck and Mitchie in the hole. These Chinooks can do a little 2-out rally here if the bats can get going. 3-1 pitch. Misses down low, and that's going to put a base runner on as Gomez works a walk. And Luke Coffey, who has been on fire so far in this season, steps to the plate now. Coffey belted one out to left. It looked like it was gone off the crack of the bat, but just missed. He comes into this game hitting .344 as he is rising the ranks. Last night went 1 for 2 with a double and 1 walk to improve his slugging percentage up to .563 as he is just seeing the ball very well and has so much confidence out there at the plate. And he steps to the plate now with Gomez at first, facing the left-hander Nardi. Outside for strike 1. About to say ball, but that's why I'm not the umpire. I'm telling you, these strike zones have been all over the place.
I think a lot of people would give you a hard time if you were the umpire.
I don't know. I'm pretty unbiased in the broadcast booth as Nardi throws back over to first. Some of the players actually get on me because they go back and watch it when maybe they do something well or if the pitchers get a huge strikeout. And for example, last night, when the Bucks took the lead on a sac fly, Scott Smith, who was on the mound, was like, "Caleb, you sound like you're rooting for the Bucks." I was like, "No, I'm just an unbiased. Look, good to see good baseball." As Coffey watches that one outside for ball 1. I definitely try not to sound excited for the other team, but if it's a close play and say it's a single of the outfield, I'm going to get pretty passionate if one of our guys out there has a good throw to the catcher. 1-1 pitch now facing the third baseman, Coffey. Up high for ball 2. One pitch now coming up to Coffee as Gomez stands on first and Mitchie stands on deck. Nardi sets and delivers. And a big swing and a miss, and he lets that bat fly.
Again, I think
That's not the first time we've seen that.
the Chinook hitters just have a thing with letting the bat fly, and that one got all the way to Coach Growth in the third base coaching box.
And he has a smile
now
over there.
The bat boy, Ty Beck, has thrown the stick of pine tar out to Luke to hopefully put a little grip on that bat, as Luke does not wear batting gloves, which it seems to be a common theme with a couple of the Chinook hitters.
Levi Gilcrease, no batting gloves. Mike Caprice, I believe, stands with no batting gloves.
I've never really enjoyed the feel of batting gloves. I've always just enjoyed, bare hands on the bat. But
2-2 pitch. And Coffee smokes that. Well, I got to agree with you. Just being out there with the guys, it just feels weird. I mean, I do like maybe some of these guys, for example, Luke Coffey doesn't have it on the bat he has now, but he puts this lizard tape on it.
Yeah, I get that also puts grip on it. That stuff's expensive, though. It's like $10 for like maybe 2 or 3 feet of it.
Yeah, well, if you're playing at this level, $10 might be a good investment, though.
Keep the
Think about it that way. As Nardi throws back over to Gomez at first. 2-2 pitch still. As Coffey looks to swing once more. Two outs, top of the first. Gomez on first, 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3, going to load the count full now. And Coffey should be getting a pitch to hit here. And he's definitely going to strike, as he has been feeling the ball very well lately. 3-2 pitch coming up to the Chinook third baseman. Nardi throws. And that one's fouled up, and that's going to be in play. And that's going to be caught by the third baseman, Rainer Osmus, and that's going to do it. In the top half of the first, no runs on no hits. And when we come back, Mike Batten on the hill for your Chinooks as the Miners come to the plate in the bottom of the first. And as we're back here in the bottom of the first, Chinook pitcher Mike Batten up now. Mike Batten from Southern Wesleyan University pitched in last against the Matsu Miners here just over a week ago, or just under a week ago, I should say. Elijah McNamee, the left fielder from Mississippi State. This is the first time the Chinooks get to see him live. 1-0 pitch coming from Batten. And that smoked foul to even up the count 1-1.
Mike Batten has definitely been a fun guy to get to know. He's just a goofy dude. Loves to joke around. At times he can be pretty quiet, but he's a fun guy to get to know.
Well, he's definitely one of those guys, the ones you kind of crack open, he just won't stop in a good way, for sure. As a 2-1 pitch now coming from Batten. As a swing and a miss by McNamee. And Batten now has the count even in the bottom of the first with nobody out. On deck is Mike Antico, the St. John's freshman, as he hopes to hit with a runner on. And that is inside just a tad, as that was over the head of McNamee as he had a duck there. 3-2 count now, facing the Mississippi State left fielder. Three-two pitch from Batten. And that's hit to the shortstop Shackelford. That's going to get through and into left field. And the Miners are going to have a leadoff base runner. And he's going to try to go to second. The throw back down to Shackelford. And Shackelford is going to apply the tag. And Ryan, that's one way to get the out.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. He just was getting a little bit antsy there over at first base. And Jeremy Johnson immediately saw that. That was
Heads
an
up
awesome
play.
read. Just throws it to first base. And he's not back at the bag in time. So he was in the unfortunate pickle, and they just threw it to Shackelford at second, and they tagged him out.
As McNamee took a very loud and long leadoff there as he ran in first, and Johnson tried to then throw behind him. But ultimately, McNamee was like, oh, well, might as well steal second. But good heads-up play by Mitchie at first to throw over to the shortstop Shackelford. And got McNamee at second, and Batten now faces Antico in there for a ball 1. 1-1 count now. Facing the St. John center fielder, Batten. Winds up and throws. Misses on the outside, ball 2. Two-on pitch from the Chinook right-hander. He's going to step off, take a breather. Two-on pitch now for Batten, with 1 away here in the bottom of the first. And he misses outside again. I don't know by how much.
Yeah, each time it's in a good spot, I would say.
Well, after last night's umpire had such an open strike zone.
It was kind of all over the place.
That's an understatement. But I will be fair. These umps have, they've stuck to their strike zone, and that's, I actually asked the hitters, is Batten full count pitch? Fouled off. I actually asked the Chinook hitters, is it frustrating dealing with these umpires? And some of them, obviously came out and said yes, but some of them actually said it's frustrating at first, but as long as they stick by it, they get used to it and they acclimate. As a
Right.
3-2 pitch,
as long as
one
you're
more.
consistent.
And that's really all you can ask as a hitter, as Antico fouls off to keep it at full count. For these hitters, they're used to different umpires, different strike zones. And I had Noah Jones in here a few days ago, and I asked him the question of how do you deal with an umpire that's all over the place, and he says, you just have to acclimate. As Batten puts that one in for strike 3 and gets Antico strikeout looking, and Batten had no problem there with the umpire's strike zone. As Antico goes down on strikes.
He put that one in a spot where it was an undisputable strike.
Well, if that would have been called a ball, I would have been leaving the booth and going down there myself.
That would have been funny to watch. It might have gotten the camera out. Oh, wait, we already have one.
As that would have been my 15 seconds of fame there. As 2 away now in the bottom of the first. Rainer Osmus, who caught the third out in the top half of the first, comes to the plate from Chandler Gilbert Community College from Klein, Texas. It's Batten. Misses up high. 2-0 count now for the minor third baseman. 2-0 pitch. Outside for ball 3, and Batten's going to have to work from behind here. As Ryan Haug Has to guess what that last name is on deck. In there for strike one, Alex Crotty behind the dish tonight, as he has had a few days off. His leg was bothering him, a little hamstring issues, but he is good to go as he is catching for batting on this 3-1 pitch and a big swing and a miss.
Battled back into this count a little bit.
And that's something we've seen a lot from these Chinook pitchers. They do not give up. I mean, last night we saw full bases loaded, nobody out, only 1 run allowed. And that was a pretty good thing. That was pretty lucky.
Right.
3-2 pitch from Batten. In there for strike 3.
He thought he was going to first base, but I guess he'll be taking a trip back to the dugout.
And Ryan, I might have to agree with Osmus there, but as a Chinook broadcaster, I'm going to be happy with that strike 3 call, and that's going to do it here in the first. And when we come back, the Chinooks are going to look to take the first strike of this game as we head to the top half of the second. And we're back here in the top of the second. Brandon Mitchie, the hot-hitting Australian second baseman, steps to the plate for your Chinooks.
I don't know if it's just an Australian thing, but I have never seen one player dive into first base this much.
And Mitchie swings and misses. Well, that's just a commitment thing, I think.
He's all in on every drive. He refuses to get thrown out at first base, so he just dives, which is not. It's uncommon. You don't see it that much.
And Mitchie watches that one in for strike 2. Last night, Mitchie went 2 for 4 with 2 singles to right field in the 4-3 win over the Anchorage Bucks, hitting .250 this season with 1 home run and 8 hits overall. Nardi the 0-2 pitch, and Mitchie hits that to Bull at short. Bull handles that, and that's going to be hit over to the first baseman, Spencer Henson, and that's going to put 1 away for Aaron Shackelford. And Shackelford has been seeing the ball very well lately, as he had the game-winning single last night in the bottom of the 8th, as there were 2 runners on in scoring position with 2 outs. Chinooks down 3-2. Shackelford laced a single right under the shortstop's glove to give the Chinooks the 1-run lead, facing now nobody on in the top of the second. And that's going to be bunted right to Nardi, but that's going to get right by him. And Shackelford, in one of the more interesting bunts, is going to get on.
That was very unorthodox, as he blooped it right over the pitcher and landed it in between, or right in front of the second baseman. And that was... yeah, I've never seen that before. But hey, it works.
Hey, we'll take whatever we can get as Hayden Mixon now steps to the plate. The Chinook first baseman DH last night for 6 innings, as he was then pitched hit for. As Micah Priest came into the game last night, Shackelford stands at first after that unorthodox bunt single. Takes his lead against the left-hander Nardi. Mixon watches that one in for strike 1, and, you know, already my umpire questioning is coming into play. And I hate saying that, as I'm typically the one that says, oh, I respect all referees and umpires, but a little questionable calling here as Mixon faces an 0-1 count. Nardi delivers. Now, I do agree with that one. 0-2 pitch now, approaching Nardi.
definitely been. There have been some interesting umpires in this league before. Good stories.
And we'll probably have a boatload of them as before this summer ends as Nardi throws over to short. To first to try to get the shortstop. Aaron Shackelford sleeping over there at first. 0-2 count to Mixon. One away, top of the second. Shackelford stands at first. Nardi. And Mixon, it seems, or the catcher, do not know now, calls timeout. Mixon's going to reset. So same with Nardi on the mound. Nardi, the 0-2 pitch, one away, top of the second. Swing and a miss by Mixon. And two away now for the Chinooks as Alex Crotty steps to the plate. Crotty last played June 17th against the Oilers, and that's 6-0 win. Hitting 133 so far. He's hoping to put the bat in the right direction this game, as he has had a hit in his last two games, hoping to keep that short but successful hitting streak alive here with two away, top of the second. Outside for ball one. Nardi steps back on the mound, 1-0 pitch, two away, top of the second. No runs for either team here. Throws back over to Shackelford, and Nardi a little uncomfortable with Shackelford's lead over there.
Nardi does have a pretty deceptive pickoff move, though, being a left-hander and all.
That's what I was thinking. It looks like he's about to come, and there's been a few times I almost called him coming to the plate. He throws right over there first, as he does throw now. And the catcher, Hogg, throws to Shackelford at first, and he gets him sleeping there as he backdoors Shackelford. And that's not the way the Chinooks wanted to end this inning. And Shackelford takes his batting gloves off in frustration. Well, that's going to do it for the Chinooks in the top half of the second. And the Miners are going to come to the plate as we head to the bottom of the second. Chinook baseball will be back. And as we're back here in the bottom of the second, Ryan Haug steps to the plate, playing catcher tonight for the Miners. As he leads things off here as Batten puts a first pitch strike and is now ahead on the Miners catcher. On deck is the Tennessee right fielder Justin Ammons. And Spencer Henson, the first baseman, stands in the hole. A 1 pitch from Batten. Inside to even up the count 1-1. Batten got the no decision in his last outing, but pitched a stellar 4 innings against these same Miners on June 15th. And a swing and a miss by Haug. 1-2 count now, facing the Chinook right-hander. One-two pitch from Batten. And that's it to Shackelford, and Shackelford barely moves his feet and catches that line drive. One away here for the Miners in the bottom of the second. Want to take this time to remind all you Chinook fans here in the Alaska area that both Chinooks is going to be tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Chinook Chugiak Library. As a few Chinooks will be out there reading to kids. It's at Chugiak Eagle River Library. Tomorrow, again, at 1 p.m. We would love to see you guys out there. Bring your children, bring some snacks, and enjoy some Dr. Seuss, or at least that would be my choice.
It's always a fun experience having all the kids.
I've heard some interesting stories from your dad, Chris Beck, about it.
Yeah, there's always good stories that come from that day.
And it's going to be interesting to hear the same stories as Batten. 0-1 count now with one away. And there for strike two, and Batten seems to be feeling it. Now, Ryan, Batten is one of those guys with just good stuff that when he's on, he is on.
Exactly. I mean, once he's locked in, he's good to go. And what's nice is he doesn't get rattled easily, which is
not at all
an important quality to have as a pitcher.
And, well, right as we say that, the broadcaster jinx in full effect as Ammons singles that one out to Prees in right field, and the Miners are going to have a one-out base runner for Justin Ammons, Spencer Henson. The first baseman for tonight from Oral Roberts, teammates of our very own Chinook, Alex Schmitz. And he came in a few days ago, has only appeared in 2 games at the plate, but has been 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Did pitch against the Oilers June 13th, as he is a pitcher and first baseman. As Batten throws over to Ammons at first. Ammons slides back safely. Batten, after giving up the single to right, faces Henson now. Outside, ball 1. Austin Boole, the GCU shortstop, stands on deck next, hoping to hit here with 2 runners at least on. But with the power it looks like Henson possesses, Boole would not mind a 1-out, nobody bases on, as Henson hopes to bring home Ammons here. Batten again throws over. Nothing going on for Ammons' part. Batten looks in, 1-0 pitch. Ammons is running, and that's fouled away. And Ammons going to have to go right back to where he came from at first base.
And now Crotty's got a little bit of a warning sign, knowing that Ammons is ready to go at a moment's notice. It'll be good to see if Crotty has the chance to throw him out at second here.
As Crotty has really not had that many chances to show off his arm from behind the plate. As Batten once again throws over to first, as Ammons slides back once again safely. 1-1 pitch, 1 away, bottom of the second. No score for either team. Batten delivers. Up high for ball 2, 2-0 count now. Facing the Oral Roberts, first baseman. Batten once again throws back over, and Ryan, it looks like Batten does not want to make Ammons any comfortable over there.
No, it doesn't want to give him the opportunity to get in scoring position early here, knowing that Ammons does have speed.
Batten sets and delivers the 2-1 pitch. Outside, and Henson is going to have a hitter's count of 3-1 now. And Batten going to have to find the strike zone, hoping for the ground ball into his infield here to try to get the double play action. Henson loads up, facing Batten on the mound. Batten, the 3-1 pitch. Ammons is running, swinging a miss by Henson, and Mitchie late to apply the tag, and Ammons is going to get in there as that throw by Crotty was just a little bit off as Mitchie did all he could, but just a tad late. 3-2 pitch coming up now with a runner in scoring position to the minor first baseman at the plate.
And now we saw the throw. It was there. It was just a little bit high and a little bit to Mitchie's right, which just didn't allow the tag to be there in time.
3-2 pitch now for Batten. And Crotty does have to be alert there as Ammons, with the speed he possesses, could steal third here. 3-2 pitch, one away, bottom of the second. In there for strike 3, and Henson is going to strike out looking there. And once again, the minors hitters gives the umpire a tad long look there as he thought he got walked. But the ump's going to say no go to that. Austin Boole, the shortstop from Grand Canyon University, steps to the plate. Batten now faces Bull with 2 outs and a runner on second, looking to keep this game where it's at with zeros on the board. Outside for ball 1. One-0 pitch with 2 away, bottom of the second. Batten sets and throws. Outside once more for ball 2 now. Two outs, bottom of the second. Ammon stands on second, the pitch. In there for strike 1.
This seems to be a little bit of a thing with Batten. Occasionally he'll just get, he'll get it behind in the count a little bit, and then he comes right back swinging.
And that's a good sign to see from your pitcher, able to battle through adversity. See now is a 2-1 count to the shortstop. Looks over to Ammons at second. Nobody there to cover the base. 2-1 pitch, 2 away. Bottom of the second here. Batten looks into his catcher, Crotty, and delivers. And that's hit to the shortstop, Shackelford. Shackelford over to Mixon at first, and that's going to do it. And through 2 innings here, we're tied at 0. And when we come back, your Chinooks are going to be at the plate in the top of the third. And as we come back in the top half of the third inning, Alex Crotty, who was up when Aaron Shackelford got backdoored by the catcher, Haug. And he's going to have a fresh new plate appearance here facing Nardi, a left-hander. That one's in there for strike 1 to the Mercer Bear catcher. And Crotty, and that's going to be a fair ball, and Crotty is going to round first and dig for second, and he is going to get there standing up. And the Chinooks have a leadoff base runner as Alex Crotty sends that ball in. Ryan, that was a pretty slow ball down that line.
It wasn't hit all that hard, but it just stayed right over the base and stayed in fair territory. And the left fielder just
kind of trotted to it.
He trotted. It's just almost like he was sleeping out there. He didn't do a whole lot to get to it, but once he did, Crotty didn't even have to worry about sliding. He just walked into second base.
And now the Chinooks are in business here as Jeremy Johnson, the 9-hole hitter, steps to the plate with Crotty on second after that stand-up double. And Johnson had the bunt down, has to pull back, takes it for ball 1. And, well, it might be short-lived still, but Crotty has a 3-game hitting streak now.
Yeah. It's always nice.
Hey, I'll take that. 1-0 pitch to the Auburn outfielder. Let's see if the bunt sign's down again. The pitch. Bunt sign down again. Pulls back, but that one's in there for strike 1. And with Mike Capri's on deck, and like Ryan and I, we talked about earlier before the game started, it's good to get ahead of any team, especially a team as good as the Miners have been and how dominant their pitching can be. Getting that first strike, getting first blood is so key to beating this team. As Johnson hits that to the shortstop Bull, and Crotty's running on third, and Crotty is stuck in a pickle here as he is stuck in an interesting situation, and he's going to get called out to throw over to second, and that is going to be a double play. As I don't want to say that was poor base running, but that was not anywhere near good base running. As that was hit to the shortstop Bull, and Crotty, I guess, thought Bull was throwing. And Bull, the heads-up play, threw to the third baseman Osmus, who got Crotty in a pickle, and Crotty was trying to give Johnson the chance to get to second. So I want to be a completely lost cause. But the tag was applied to Crotty and whipped right over to second, and now the Chinooks have nobody on with 2 outs here. And that's going to be hit to the second baseman, Chinea, and just as fast as we thought the Chinooks might put a run on the board, they have nothing going on, and we're going to head to the bottom of the third, 0-0 ball game, and the Miners come to the plate. And as we come back here in the bottom of the third, still 0-0 ball game, Zach Sharpley, the University of Southern California Trojans, DH steps to the plate as Batten, puts that one in there for first pitch, strike 1. Brandon Chinea on deck behind him playing second base tonight. And that's going to be a ball 1. Charlie, in 17 plate appearances, hitting .294, with 5 hits, one of those being a double to go along with 2 RBIs and 2 walks, as well as striking out 4 times. Batten, the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 2. 2-1 pitch coming up now for Batten. In there for strike 2. And a great pitch there for Batten to get even here in this count. 2-2 pitch, nobody out, bottom of the 3rd. Misses inside just by a hair. As Batten wanted that one, but nonetheless, 1-2 count, full count of 3-2, facing the USC designated hitter. Batten, the full count, loads and throws in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk. Issued to Charlie.
For your second baseman, number 5, Brandon Chinooks.
Brandon Chinooks, the Tennessee second baseman, standing at a 5'8", 175, steps to the plate, with Zach Sharpley standing over at first base after Batten walked him after long at bat. And that's a good bunt down the first base line, and Mixon is going to pick it up, and he's going to tag out Chinooks. Well, he didn't tag him. Chinooks just ran out of the baseline. Interesting try there by the second baseman, but that is not allowed here in baseball.
No getting out of the baseline here.
Not at
Otherwise,
all.
everyone would be safe. It'd be a race of catch me if you can.
Huh. Elijah McNamee from Mississippi State. Only in 2 games here played, as he just came in after Mississippi State had a long and successful season, at least in the eyes of many. Probably not McNamee's eyes, but still something to have a pat on the back about, as Batten misses in the dirt for ball 1. In those 2 games, McNamee has 11 plate appearances with 3 hits and 2 doubles. So he has been seeing the ball relatively well since coming up to Alaska here. Sharpley stands over at second after the successful sac bunt by Chinooks. The 1-0 pitch. And the dirt again, 2-0 on the count. Bottom of the 3rd here, 0-0 score, 1 away. After Sharpley was walked and then sent over to second on a sac bunt. Two-0 pitch. Inside, and Batten now has thrown another ball, facing a little bit of a control issue here. Hoping to calm that down, as he's going to have to put this ball in the strike zone to risk, or should I say to avoid, putting a base runner on here due to a walk. 3-0 pitch for Batten. And they ever strike 1 as Batten was able to paint the corners there. On deck is Mike Antico, the center fielder from St. John's University. Batten looks in. And there's a foul ball tipped by the Miners left fielder, and that's going to load this count full. And Ryan, like you've said multiple times, Batten once again is able to fight back here to give him a fighting chance.
Yeah, Batten definitely is a fighter, that's for sure.
And Batten now faces the 3-2 count. To McNamee. With 1 away, bottom of the 3rd, Sharpley over at second. And that's in the dirt, outside, and that's going to put 2 runners on here, as Batten could not find the strike zone. And Mike Antico going to come to the plate here with runners on first and second. And a chance to do some damage here, as Luke Coffey over at third base comes in to the grass here, infield. On the right side, a regular depth, Shackelford in as well. He steps back to regular depth, goes back in, back. And that's it out to left field, and Johnson out there in left is going to give chase, and that ball is going to just get out of Johnson's reach. for a first pitch foul ball strike to Antico. Antico 0 for 1 in this game as he struck out in his last at-bat in the bottom half of the first. Now he's looking to put this ball in place somewhere in the outfield. 0-1 pitch coming from the Southern Wesleyan right-hander. Sets and delivers. Another foul ball to the left side of the backstop. And Batten is going to have an 0-2 count in his favor now. And would love a strikeout in the situation. And if not that, a better case would be a ground ball to his infield for the double play opportunity. Antico digs in against the 6'5" right-hander with an 0-2 count to his name. One away, bottom of the third, 0-2 pitch. Outside. Ball one now. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss by Antico. And that's going to put 2 outs on the board for the Chinooks pitcher Batten.
Now batting, your third baseman, number 29, Ryder Alsmos.
Rainer Osmus now steps to the plate. And he struck out as well in his first plate appearance. Batten looks in with 2 runners on and 2 outs, bottom of the third. Outside high for ball one. One 0 pitch coming from Batten to Osmus. Steps off. Check with his catcher. Refocus here. 2 away, bottom of the third. No runs for either team, but the Miners are in striking distance here with runners on first and second. Looks into Osmus, the 1-0 pitch. And that is tipped foul over to the Chinook dugout. 1-1 pitch now. To the Chandler Gilbert Community College third baseman. One pitch. Coming from Batten with 2 outs. And that's stroked down to right field, and Prees is going to come in a few steps, and that's going to do it. And we're through 3. No runs on 1 hit. And when we come to the top of the fourth, your Chinooks will come to the plate looking to put some runs on the board for your Chinooks. We'll be back. Levi Gilcrease now steps to the plate for the Chinooks, leading things off in the top of the fourth. And with Justin Gomez behind him, Gilcrease would love to get on base here. Top of the fourth, first pitch from Nardi, and Gilcrease going to lay a bunt down, and that's going to be to the third baseman, and that ball is just going to stay fair, and Gilcrease is going to get a leadoff base runner for the Chinooks. That ball was just stayed fair there.
Another bunt there that's gone for an infield base hit.
And that one was a little bit more of the typical bunt we see as Shackelford's went right over the pitcher. But nonetheless, we'll take a base runner, and I would not be surprised one bit to see Gilcrease try to steal here. He has good speed over there at first, and an aggressive player, not only at first, but an aggressive coach there too, giving him the signals.
2 out of the 3 Chinook hits have been off bunts. The other one came from Crotty's double down the third base line.
As that ball is high, as Gomez has to bend a little backwards. Like Ryan was saying, the Chinooks struggling to find the wood here, but so is both teams, as the Miners only have 2 hits through 3. Gilcrease takes his lead off first, 1-0 pitch. And Gomez to the shortstop, Bull, and that has to come in a little bit. Bull flips to Chinooks at second, and over to the first baseman, Spencer Henson. And that's going to be a double play. And the Chinooks are going to have 2 outs now, as Luke Coffey steps to the plate. That's not what we wanted there. But nonetheless, we'll have to work with it.
Now batting third baseman number 38, Luke Coffey.
Luke Coffey, in his first plate appearance, just flew the bat down the line. Not in an aggressive manner, just slipped out of his hands. But now hoping to have some extra pine tar on as he watches that first pitch strike come up for Andrew Nardi. Nardi, the 0-1 pitch. Good slow pitch curveball in there for strike 2, and Coffey down to an 0-2 hole here. 0-2 pitch, 2 outs, top of the fourth. Nobody has scored yet. And that's going to be chopped to the shortstop. Bull comes in, has to deliver over to Henson, and that's going to be 3 outs now. As the Chinooks get 1 base runner on. But go down in order after that. And we're going to head to the bottom of the fourth. The Miners are up to the plate. 0-0 ball game. We'll have more Chinook baseball when we come back. Bottom of the fourth now as Ryan Haug steps to the plate for the Miners behind the dish tonight. Facing Mike Batten out there on the mound once more. He looks into the catcher. And Batten steps off the mound to regrip the ball. No runs for either side here. in the bottom of the fourth, as the Miners look to change that here in this half inning. Batting, first pitch. And they have a strike one. Ryan Haug from University of Arizona Wildcats there. Faces an 0-1 count now from Batten. And they have a strike two. And Batten up in an 0-2 hole now to Haug, looking to make him pay. Oh-2 pitch. Batten takes the call from his catcher Crotty and throws. And that's foul to the Chinook dugout.
It used to be on the at this field. They didn't have the fence in the middle of that
That would have been bad.
dugout. So anytime the ground balls used to come in there, it used to be heads up and duck. Otherwise, you were gonna get busted in the chops.
Well, in that case, the Chinooks are grateful there for that fence. That ball was ripped to the dugout. 0-2 pitch once more for Batten. Ooh, and that came in and hit Haug, but he did swing. And the base runner is going to be granted, even though Haug swung at that. And John Groth is going to have a word with the umpire. As Haug, yes, he got hit, but he swung the pitch.
That's weird. It hit his hand, which is technically considered part of the bat by the rule book. And the umpires are granting him first base. I don't know whether it's out of pity or what it is, but that should be renegotiated.
And John Groth giving him peace of mind as Aaron Shackelford, the vocal captain out there at short, also having words with the umpire. And really, the whole Chinook dugout was wondering what was going on as, you know, in all estimates, that should have been strike three, or at least a foul ball, as he did swing, and he swung, and by rule, if you are swinging and you get hit, that ball,
it's technically should be considered a foul ball,
yeah.
But this is definitely one by the umpires that they just missed.
And nonetheless, Haug is going to be granted first base, and we'll see if that play comes back to haunt the Chinooks here as Justin Amon steps to the plate. And we'll remember that one for better or for worse later on here, as Batten now has to work with runner on, nobody out. Coffey comes in real tight on the third base line. Hammond's going to call timeout at the bat. Nobody out, runner on first, bottom of the fourth. 0-0 ball game here. Batten has been in relatively good control for most of his pitching appearance here. Looking to keep that groove going. Haug on first after a questionable hit by the pitch. And Batten misses outside for ball one. Outside for ball two.
2-0 count now. And Ammons, as we've seen before, it can be a pretty lethal threat if he gets on base.
And Batten has to face that speedster with a 2-0 count. And a 3-0 count now. And Batten is in danger of putting runners on first and second with nobody out for the big hitting Spencer Hitson, who's on deck. Three-0 pitch from Batten to Justin Ammons. That's down low for ball four, and that's going to put runners on first and second. For Spencer Hinton.
Now batting your first baseman, number 35, Spencer Henson.
6'1", 230. First baseman from Locust Grove, Oklahoma. And Batten looking for the double play ball here to start his way towards getting out of this inning. Batten looks into Henson. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. 0-0 ball game. Bottom of the fourth. Batten sets and throws. And a big swing and a miss by the first baseman.
Henson is definitely not afraid to take a big old hack.
As he has taken a few of those this game, and if you're batting, definitely use that to your advantage, knowing that Henson is not afraid to blow some smoke out there. See if you can maybe get him to pop up or have a big swing and just chop one of your infielders. 0-1 pitch, nobody out. Batten delivers. Outside for a strike one. All right there. I'm glad that was called a strike, but not sure if that should have been.
Definitely just a little bit outside. And we try to prevent as an unbiased view as possible, but that
should have been a ball.
That was out there.
0-2 pitch now, nonetheless, for Batten. As he looks and goes for the throat for the strikeout. And Henson's going to step out and refocus and regrip the bat here. As he looks to send one long and far. Nobody out, bottom of the fourth. 0-0 ball game, runners on first and second. Nobody out, 0-2 pitch from Batten. And that's foul to the backstop to keep this count 0-2. Austin Boole, the minor shortstop, on deck. And he's hoping to get some hacks here in this inning. The chance to put some runs on the board. Batten looks in once more with the 0-2 pitch. Batten throws. And that's it to the second baseman, Mitchie. Mitchie, Shackelford gets the first. Over to Mixon, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. As Howe does advance from second to third. But the Chinooks do what they have to get the double play. And now 2 outs for Austin Boole.
Now batting your shortstop, number 15, Austin Bull.
And the Chinooks are 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed from that terrible call that should have been a strike 3. But the umpire granted Haug the base anyway. And let's see if the Chinooks can get out of this without that affecting the scoreboard. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Runner on third. Austin Bull at the plate. Outside, ball 1. Zach Sharpley, the USC DH, stands on deck. As Austin Bull stands in the batter's box here. 1-0 pitch, 2 away. And they have a strike 1. Even count of 1-1 now. Batten looks into Crotty as catcher. 1-1 pitch. Down low inside for ball 2. Ryan Howe got third after he got on base after he swung and was hit by the pitch, and the umpire granted him first anyway. Austin Bull at the plate, looking to bring him in. 2-1 count for Batten with 2 away in the bottom of the fourth. And that's it right up the middle to Shackelford. Shackelford calmly gets it, throws over to Mixon, and the Chinooks get out of a nobody out, runners on first and second situation to keep the score locked where it is at 0. And we're going to head to the top of the 5th as the Chinooks come to the plate. We'll be back once more for more Chinook baseball. Brandon Mitchie up now for the Chinooks in the top half of the fifth. Andrew Nardi throws and delivers. And a big cut there by Mitchie for an early strike one. Nardi, through 4 innings pitched, allowed only 3 hits, and he's back on the mound once more. Looking to shut down the Chinooks for one more inning here. On 1 pitch, and Mitchie sends that one sailing foul.
I think the last time we faced Nardi, it was a pretty dominant performance by Nardi. And at one point, once they started getting base runners on and the Chinooks started scoring, we saw a very rattled pitcher. I think we're just waiting for that time where he starts getting tired and starts, making some small mistakes that the Chinook hitters can take advantage of and put some runs across the board.
That's what we will be waiting for as Mitchie faces an 0-2 count now with Aaron Shackelford on deck. And if there's anybody that can take advantage of a missed opportunity, it is Shackelford on deck as Mitchie fouled the backstop once more. Mitchie has been seeing the ball very well of late. Like I mentioned earlier, had 2 singles to right field last night against the Bucks, hoping to continue that trend tonight. 0-2 pitch from Nardi coming up. And that one's hit out to right field, and Ammons is going to come over, and that's going to be caught by the center fielder out there. Mike Antico, 1 away for the Chinooks, is Aaron Shackelford. Shortstop from the Masters University steps to the plate. And it looks like we might be having some action down in the Chinook bullpen. And we'll keep an eye on that for future reference and see if that impacts this game. 1 away, Nardi the pitch to Shackelford. And they have a strike 1. On deck is the first baseman, Hayden Mixon, who struck out in his last plate appearance. 0-1 pitch to Shaq. Up high for ball 1. Even count of 1-1 now with 1 away, top of the 5th. Has been a relatively dominant pitching performance from both sides of this game, as the hitters have been left wondering what they can do here to get on base. 0-1 pitch, and that's it out to left field, and that ball is going to drop fair, and that's going to be a single for Shackelford. And he thought about second, but wisely comes back as he was almost. That was not fielded correctly by Chinea, but Chinea was having eyes toward first to try to get Shackelford leaning as he rounded first. Well, we're going to have a base runner on at Shackelford. Seeing with a left field for Hayden Mixon. That was the 4th hit of this ball game for the Chinooks.
Chinooks so far out hitting the minors.
They've doubled them up.
Just can't take advantage and execute on some of those opportunities.
And Nardi throws back over to first to Shackelford. He did this last time Shackelford was on the plate. As let's see if John Groth calls for the stolen base. For Shackelford, facing the left-hander Nardi. And the first pitch to Mixon. Outside for ball 1. Mixon had a good game a few nights ago where he had the go-ahead triple. But outside of that has been struggling at the plate. Looking to change that tune tonight and carry that onward. 1-0 pitch coming from Nardi. And that ball is hit out to left field and deep. And that ball has a chance. And that ball is gone. And Hayden Mixon sets that tune perfectly. As there's a 2-run shot to left field. And that is a good monkey off the back for Mixon. And the Chinooks take a 2-0 lead against the Miners. And Ryan, maybe this is the moment we see Nardi unravel.
Just that very simple mistake right there, and Mixon took advantage of it, sending it deep into left field. And from the bat, it was a very high fly ball, and it went over the fence, and now it's a 2-0 lead for the Chinooks.
Alex Crotty now steps to the plate as he fouls that one off. From the crack of the bat, it looked like it had a chance, but could not get a read on that as there was really no wind here. And so I didn't know if that was going to die or anything, but that ball just made it over the fence. As the left fielder, Elijah McNamee, had no choice but to watch it sail over the fence. Crotty looks that one in for ball 1, and Ryan, we talked about with the way the Chinooks bullpen have been, that 2-0 lead could definitely carry them to the finale here. But the Chinooks are definitely going to be looking to improve upon this lead now.
Absolutely.
And Crotty sends that one sailing foul for a 1-2 pitch now. One-two count to the Chinook catcher as he doubled in his last plate appearance. Hoping to do the same here. 1-2 pitch, one away. As that ball drops in for ball 2. Even count of 2-2 now, facing the Mercer Bear. Nardi throws in the dirt for ball 3, and now Crotty has worked it to a full count here with Jeremy Johnson on deck, and then the top of the order after him. Three-two pitch. Crotty sends that one out to left field as well. That ball has a chance, and that ball is going to sail foul. It's off the crack of the bat. That had the distance.
It definitely had the distance. It just curved foul. He's to straighten that one up.
Good sign nonetheless that Crotty's seeing the ball well. And a good sign of the Chinooks is maybe, like Ryan, you mentioned earlier, and a good point from the last time the Chinooks have seen these pitchers, and specifically Nardi, who's still on the mound for the Miners. Maybe this is the moment Chinooks can take advantage of. 3-2 pitch, down in the dirt. And nonetheless, Crotty's going to get on base here after that walk, and Jeremy Johnson now steps to the plate with a runner on first and only one out in the top of the 5th. Your Chinooks lead 2-0 after two-run homer for Hayden Mixon to give the Chinooks the lead in this top half of the 5th.
Number 14, the left fielder, Jeremy Johnson.
One out pitch. Johnson rips that to left, and that's going to be a first pitch single, and Chinooks are going to have runners on first and second. For the top of the order, Mike Capriz and Ryan, you might hit it on the nail of the head. These Chinook hitters seem to be in good position against Nardi on the mound.
They're starting to figure out Nardi, and Nardi is definitely rattled. As we can see, his confidence is shaken. Mixon went yard to left field, and now the Miners pitching coach is going to come out and have a conversation, try and get him settled down. But after Crotty gets a walk, after hitting a very long foul ball, you can definitely see the wheels turning, which is not something you want to see in your pitcher.
And the Chinooks are definitely going to look to take advantage of this performance by Nardi as the long walk out by the Miners pitching coach, the whole infield here for this meeting. And this top of the order for the Chinooks, they have not found the rhythm tonight, but before this night, they have been a well-oiled machine. And they will definitely look to put some more runs here as they have runners on first and second with one out. Already have a 2-0 lead thanks to the two-run homer by Hayden Mixon. And some light tossing now. Well, I should say light football throwing for the Chinooks bullpen. That's an interesting method to get warmed up down there.
Well, I mean, it's a little chilly outside, so it might just be to get the blood moving.
True. I am not a college athlete by any means. Cannot speak on whether they are warming up or not, or just having fun. Mike Capriz now steps in, been seeing the ball well this season, and facing the lefty, Andrew Nardi. Alex Crotty at second after being walked, and Jeremy Johnson at first after that rip of a single to left field. And Mike Capriz looks to put this one out there in the outfield somewhere. Nardi looks in and delivers. Prees watches that one in for strike one. Prees has been a very patient leadoff hitter here as he is not afraid to wait for the right pitch. And same with Levi Gilcrease on deck. Both aggressive but patient at the same time. A one pitch now coming from the Ventura Community College lefty. And down low, ball one. 1-1 count now, one out, top of the 5th. One pitch for Nardi to Haug, the catcher. Down low for ball 2, and this is a good sign here for Prees, as Nardi does not do so well when he has to put this pitch in for a strike.
Nope. And we can now we can see the Miners have some action going in their bullpen. We'll let you know who that is when we find out. But coaching staff has definitely taken notice of this.
Nardi, the 2-1 pitch with one away here. And Prees fouls that one to the left side of the field here. 2-2 count now for Prees. And he'll be aggressive here as he looks to single or more somewhere in this field here. Crotty stands at second. Johnson at first. 2-2 pitch coming up. Prees laces that in right field, and that ball's going to drop. And Crotty is going to be held up at third as he had to hold there. As that ball was shot in the right field, but it did hang a little bit. Had no idea if that was going to be caught by second base. So good play by Crotty. Did come up to bite him in the butt a little bit, but we do like the safe play over there. Bases loaded now with one out for Levi Gilcrease. And Gilcrease, who has good pop, will look to do at worst send this ball in the outfield deep enough to score Crotty, who has catcher's legs out there, but is a good athlete nonetheless. Good speed at second with Johnson.
He is pretty quick.
For a catcher, he is definitely very quick.
But as I say, for a catcher.
For a catcher, nonetheless. Yes.
There.
And when you're in the squat for 4+ innings, that will do a little damage to your athletic ability.
Absolutely.
Nardi looks in, bases loaded, one away, 2-0 lead already for the Chinooks. Outside for ball one. And I guess I should. Now, I shouldn't put it past John Groth not to do this. But I think with bases loaded and a catcher at third, we will put away the suicide squeeze talk.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully. But then again, John Groth is not the ordinary manager by any means of the name. Ordinary. And the Chinooks, who have been hitting very well, have a chance to really get this game in a good position for Batten and the rest of their Chinook bullpen, as it looks like the Chinook bullpen has kind of calmed down a little bit. So Batten should be going out in the bottom of the fifth. We'll keep you updated on that as soon as we find out. Crotty stands at third, Johnson at second, Prees at first, Gilcrease, the 1-0 pitch. 2-0 now. And if you're Gilcrease, you have to be salivating at the mouth here.
You're just waiting for your pitch to hit. You know he's rattled.
You
and you
know it's coming, too.
You know it's going to come. It's just a matter of when and where. And can you put the wood on it?
And that's all Gilcrease will be trying to do. 2-0 pitch. And Gilcrease sends it out to center. And that's going to be a hit out to Antico. And that's caught. And here comes Crotty. And Johnson's going to try to go to third. And he easily makes it. And Crotty comes across. And Gilcrease does his job as he gives the Chinook a 3-0 lead on that sacrifice fly. And Ryan, he waited for that pitch. And although a hit would have been nice, that was a beautiful situation.
Hey, we'll take it any way we can get it here.
We'll take the runs no matter what, as Gomez, who has been seeing the ball very well, comes on with runners and corners, and 2 away here. 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. And 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Justin Gomez is going to look to put this ball fair and in play in the outfield to score Johnson, who stands at third. Nardi looks into Gomez. Gomez watches that ball in the dirt for ball one. Luke Coffey stands on deck. And Johnson, who has good speed at third, will be on alert in case of a pass ball. 1-0 pitch from Nardi. That's in there for a low strike number 1. Prees stands at first. Johnson at third. Good speed on the base pass here. Would not be surprised if we saw a steal by Prees for maybe a Johnson could come home if Prees could slide in safely, but we'll see. 1-1 count to Gomez, the DH for tonight. Throws back over to Prees at first is Nardi.
Again, with that really deceptive pick move. It looks like all the Chinook base runners getting on first base are just a little bit like
they're a little wary of it over there.
They almost seem a little bit caught off guard each time he throws over because it is that deceptive.
1-1 pitch, and that's smoked down to right field. Ammons is going to have to give chase, and Ammons is going to be able to get there in time. And that's going to put 3 away for the Chinooks, but not before the Chinooks put 3 on the board to take a 3-0 lead. Hayden Mixon with a 2-run bomb in the left field. And when we come back in the bottom of the fifth, your Chinooks will have their first attempt to hold a lead in this ball game. We'll be back as Mike Batten takes the mound for your Chinooks. And as we come to the bottom of the fifth, Zach Sharpley steps to the plate to try to put the Miners on the track to coming back here. But the Chinooks and Mike Batten, who's back on the hill, will look to hold this 3-0 lead. And the first pitch to Sharpley. And the home plate umpire is going to say Sharpley win. And a first pitch strike in for Batten. And some more light warming up in the bullpen for the Chinooks. And same with the Miners. In there for strike two, and Batten seems to be feeling it now, especially with the lead his batters could give him in this top half of the fifth. 0-2 pitch, bottom of the fifth. Batten winds and throws. On the outside for ball one. Batten, the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be a ball two on the inside. Two count now facing the Miner DH. Batten delivers. And that's hit to Coffey at third. Coffey calmly throws to Mixon at first. One down in the bottom of the fifth. And Brandon Chinea, the Miner second baseman, comes to the plate now.
Now to bat for the Miners, number 5, your second baseman, Brendan Chinooks.
Chinooks comes to the plate now with one away in the bottom of the fifth. His Batten misses down low for ball one. Batten, the 1-0 pitch. Throws that one in for ball two.
That was right on the outside of the zone there. It was very close. It was.
And Chinea back again over to Coffey. Coffey grounds that, and that's going to be over to Mixon. And a quick 2 outs here for the Chinooks.
Batten over there hit the dirt.
As he gave his third baseman Coffey all the clearance he needed to throw, and he's
on his
having a
belly,
smile over there.
Watch it. It's all right. He's enjoying himself out there.
And that's all you can ask out here. And as Ryan, you were saying earlier, that's just Batten for you. Having fun and throwing the ball to his favorite things to do in life.
That make the occasional joke as I've
That's true. That's
gotten
true.
to be a part of.
And that's fouled off. And he is definitely a guy that, you might not approach at first glance. He's a very focused guy, kind of a rugged appearance sometimes. But once you get to know him and start talking to him, he's a great guy to talk to as he misses down low for ball one after the first pitch to McNamee was fouled of the Chinook dugout. And Batten with 2 outs here, bottom of the fifth. The throw to McNamee. Inside for ball two. And as the Chinooks start throwing the ball, it looks like this might be Batten's last hitter of the night. Looking to go out on a good note. Puts that one in for strike two and a 2-2 count now for Batten. And let's see what Batten can do here. Facing McNamee on a 2-2 pitch, 2 away, 3-0 lead for the Chinooks, bottom of the fifth. And that's going to be a time called by the umpire there. And we'll come back as Batten refoots on the mound, 2-2 pitch. Up high, going to load the count full now. Three-two pitch for the Chinook right-hander. Winds and throws. And that's going to be popped up. And that's going to be caught by Batten. And we're through 5, and the Chinooks have a 3-0 lead. And when we come back, the Chinooks will take their hacks in the top of the 6th. And as we're back in the top half of the sixth, Luke Coffey now steps to the plate. New pitcher for the Matsu Miners. Number 33, Zach Hardy. And Coffey is going to send this one up high in the air. And that's going to be rounded up by the third baseman, Rainer Osmus, for a quick out number one.
Guide that ball into foul territory. I mean, that was way up there.
As that's going to be an out number one after that high fly ball by Coffey. Caught by the third baseman. Brandon Mitchie now steps to the plate. With one away here, top of the sixth, 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. Looking to add on that here in this half inning. Mitchie watches that one come in for ball one. And the Chinook bullpen once again settles down, so maybe Batten will come back in the bottom of the sixth. Ryan, you were saying in between innings, you think that would be the best call. That ball's up high for ball two. As Batten, go ahead.
I would think there'd be a good chance for him to probably go one or two more innings, but probably no more than that.
And we have seen Chris Beck and most of the pitching coaches, as Hardy puts that one in for strike one, kind of have, the most they would give out is 7 innings pitched. Now it depends on pitch count, but I would expect Batten to be hovering around the 65, 70 pitch range right now.
Yeah, especially with the first 2 innings, he was at high pitch counts for all the batters. They're all giving him trouble.
And Mitchie is going to send that out to center. And that ball is going to be caught on a diving attempt out there by Antico. And Antico seemed to have had trouble finding that ball in the air, but puts it away nonetheless. And Aaron Shackelford is going to step to the plate with 2 away here in the top half of the sixth. 3-0 lead for the Chinooks.
Shortstop Aaron Shackelford.
On deck is Hayden Mixon, who belted a homer over the left field wall for 2 runs in the last inning. Hoping to do the same here if Shackelford can get aboard. Hardy looks into his catcher, Haug. And there's a ball 1 on the outside to Shackelford.
Shortstop taking a little bit of a defensive shift. He's moving closer to the third baseman here.
And Shackelford rips that to right, and that dies shortly. And that's going to be caught by Ammons. And that's going to do it for the Chinooks in the top half of the sixth. When we come back, the Miners are going to be up to the plate in the bottom half of the sixth. Mike Antico now steps to the plate in the bottom of the sixth. Mike Batten, once again on the hill for the Chinooks, it looks like Jamison Mobbs is already warming up in the bullpen. And that's a strike 1.
And Antico showed the early bunt there, definitely demonstrating Coach Ben Taylor's aggressiveness here, trying to get base runners.
And that's what the Miners need here is they've only had 2 hits in theirs and almost throw to the backstop there by Batten. 1-1 count as Batten has been dominant through 5 innings. Has only given up 2 hits and no runs. So the Miners looking to do everything they can to get on base here. Outside once more, 2-1 count now for Batten. And if you're Chris Beck, you definitely get Mobbs warming up, but I would think you only bring Mobbs in here if Batten finds some trouble as he misses up high for ball 3. Hitters count now for Antico.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be good to see if Batten could hang on here for another inning, but, we have the insurance just in case things don't work out.
3-1 pitch from Batten. And that's fouled for a 3-2 count now. Batten in his last time out on June 15th against these Miners. 4 2/3 innings pitched. Only gave up 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no runs to his name. Ended up having a no decision in that game, but he was dominant then. As that ball is lifted up, Coffey gives chase down the line. And Coffey is going to reach over the fence. And that ball just out of his grasp and a great effort. Almost Derek Jeter-esque over there by the third baseman, Luke Coffey. Loving that hustle over there.
Luckily for him, he didn't go completely over the fence as it is concrete at the bottom and not there's no fans there to cushion the fall.
Yeah, a little different than diving into Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, there were some fans there to break the fall.
Oh, no, they might be Miner fans. They might not even caught him.
Yeah, I don't know. They are pretty nice down here in the valley. They're not.
Now, Pilots
they're
fans,
the Pilots
maybe
fans,
not.
Yes, they might have
Maybe
done
not.
that.
3-2 pitch once more for Batten to Antico. Winds and throws. And that's again fouled off. And Batten has had a few of these long pitches, so I would not be pitch count. So I would not be surprised if his pitch count is going to a little bit of that area where Chris Beck, the pitching coach, might be saying, maybe not. 3-2 pitch from Batten. And that's lifted out to second. Mitchie gives chase, and Mitchie's going to call off everybody and make the catch for the 1 out here. In the bottom of the 6th, Batten works his way out of that count to get Antico to fly out. Rainer Osmus now, the third baseman, steps to the plate.
Now batting, number 29, your third baseman, Rainer Osmus.
Ryan Haug stands on deck, and he'll get to hit here. Whether or not there's base runner will be answered shortly as Batten puts that one in for strike 1. And Ryan, we're just in a zone now to watch Batten. We just expect him to keep throwing strikes here.
Yeah, he's definitely just pounding away out there.
And as we say that, the broadcaster jinx is second time in effect here. As that hits Rainer Osmus on the sleeve, and we're going to have a base runner. Sorry, Mike. Ryan Haug steps to the plate now, the runner on first with 1 away in the bottom half of the 6th. And this is what Ryan and I were talking about, is in case Batten gets in a little bit of trouble. Now, Batten can definitely work around this, especially with a 3-0 lead. But that is why you have Mobbs up and thrown out there in the Chinook bullpen. 1 away, runner on first after that hit by the pitch. And that's outside for ball 1. Batten hoping to find his course once more.
Number 25, Andy Thomas.
1-0 pitch. Throws back over. And it looks like a pitch hitter here. Andy Thomas in to hit for Ryan Haug, as that's in there for ball 2. As Andy Thomas, the left-handed hitting catcher from Baylor University, steps in. And if you're the Miners manager, you might be thinking, well, not only does he hit from the left side, it's something new to throw a Batten who has been dominant so far.
I wonder if Levi has had any interesting conversation with him playing on the Miners and all. And
well, I've heard from Levi that, he's talked to him beforehand in the warm-ups and in the bullpen is, they might be on opposite teams in ABL, but, back home in Baylor, probably good friends as Batten missed outside to make it a 3-0 count. Batten has to find the strike zone here. That's outside for ball 4, and Chris Beck Stands up. Let's see what he does here with runners on first and second. He's going to make the walk out to Batten. And with Mobbs fully warm, and it looks like Mobbs is going to come in to pitch here. And let's see if Beck officially makes the call. And he is. And that's going to be a new pitcher for the Chinooks, Mike Batten. With a good performance, 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and no runs in his performance. And it will be the Charleston Southern right-hander Jamison Mobbs to try to get things out of this inning in the bottom half of the 6th. And Batten exits with a 3-0 lead for him. Good performance by Batten. Once again, back-to-back performances here. Jamison Mobbs on the mound now for the Chinooks. We're going to take a quick break as we have a pitching change. But when we come back, the Chinooks have a 3-0 lead and runners on first and second for new pitcher Jamison Mobbs. And as we're back here in the bottom of the 6th, new pitcher Jamison Mobbs, hoping to clean up for Mike Batten, who just came out of the ball game after pitching 5 1/3. Shutout innings. Runners on first and second with 1 away. 3-0 lead for your Chinooks. And Mobbs misses down low for ball 1. Critical juncture of this game is if Mobbs can get out of this without allowing a run, it should be a great way to keep the momentum swinging in the Chinooks' favor. And it only takes 1 ground ball here as the speedster Justin Ammons from University of Tennessee now on in the batter's box. And misses outside once more as Mobbs, a 2-0 pitch now. Takes his orders from Crotty behind the plate. 2-0 pitch. Outside for 3-0, and Mobbs in danger of walking his first batter he faces. And let's see if Ammons has the green light here. 3-0 pitch, runner on first and second. Miners are down 3-0, and they need runs. And Ammons is going to call time here. See regrips, and Mobbs is going to look once more in. 3-0 pitch with 1 away, bottom of the 6th. And that's 4 straight balls, and that's not the way Mobbs wanted to start this bullpen session. And there's going to be bases loaded now for the Miners. And Spencer Henson up to bat now. No, I shouldn't say that. Nick Brooks. And we have a new pitcher. Nick Brooks steps to the plate now. And Nick Brooks, with bases loaded, the 6'2", 230 Gonzaga first baseman. We have seen him play against the Miners in previous affairs. Can unload on a ball, but Mobbs is going to hope to say no go to that as the Chinooks get some action now down in that bullpen. Mobbs with one away, bases loaded, 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. And that's in the dirt past Crotty. And that's going to bring a run home for the Miners. And Mobbs, 5 straight balls and has allowed 1 run here. As runners advance from first and second to second and third. And the Chinooks in a dangerous spot here as they are at risk of giving up this 3-run lead. And the Chinooks bullpen fastly getting ready. And the double play is essentially out of effect here. So Mobbs is looking for the strikeout or the short fly out here. 1-0 count for Mobbs. Facing Brooks at the plate. And that hits Brooks. And Jamison Mobbs struggling to find his command here. 6 straight balls. And once again, a bases loaded situation for the Miners shortstop, Austin Boole. I can't tell who that is getting warmed up in the Chinook bullpen, but they're going to have to get warmed up fast here. I don't know if Mobbs. Now, it might come back to being a favor as that does put the double play situation up, as that's what Mobbs will be hoping for here. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. 7 straight balls now for Mobbs. And that's going to be called for a meeting on the mound for Beck.
Hey, folks, we got a minute here. We're going to announce the 50-50 winner. So those of you bought 50-50 tickets, get those tickets out. It is a white ticket. We didn't sell.
And Chris Beck is going to call the umpire to the mound.
White ticket. The winner takes home $150.
And it looks like we might be seeing a change of some sorts. And Mobbs, referring to his shoulder, it might be experiencing some shoulder pain here.
9, 7, 1, 6, 4, 8.
And Chris Beck is going to make the call to the bullpen.
7.
And on the mound for your Chinooks now is going to be the big right-hander Preston White. And it looks like Jamison Mobbs will exit, leaving a bases-loaded situation and 1 run already on the board. And Preston White, the hard-throwing right-hander, will look to keep this game where it's at, a 3-1 deficit for the Miners. And another pitching change here, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Preston White is going to look to get out of a bases-loaded jam as your Chinooks have a 3-1 lead. And as we're back here, in the bottom of the sixth, Preston White comes in mid at bat as Jameson Mobbs exits with what appears to be a shoulder injury. And White comes in to face Austin Bull, facing a 1-0 count already, and bases loaded with 1 out. And White, the hard-throwing right-hander who was selected in the 38th round last Monday, or should I say last Thursday, in the Major League Baseball draft. And that's it. And that's going to be to Mitchie. Mitchie throws over to White. And that's an errant throw by Mitchie. And Ammons is going to come home. And this game is now tied. And if you could think up a worst-case scenario, that was it. As that's an error on Brandon Mitchie. Just a total mishap there as an errant throw by Mitchie. And this game is now tied at 3.
Now batting for your minors.
As Preston White did what was needed, got the ground ball. This game is now tied with runners on second and third and still only 1 out. The Chinook infield is now in. And after the Miners were struggling to get a hit, they have a chance to take this lead to 5-3 with 1 at bat as White misses down low for ball 1. And Ryan, it seemed like the Chinooks were well in control, and this game was just blown up in their face.
Yeah, it's just a couple of defensive mistakes and pitching just not able to do what it was, and loading the bases didn't help either.
And White, a 1-0 pitch, that's it to Mitchie. Mitchie's going to throw home, and Crotty is going to try to apply the tag, and safe is the call at the plate. And Crotty, a questionable call at home plate as Nick Brooks comes in to score and John Grove. And folks, by my account, it looked like Crotty got the tag, but Nick Brooks might have got his foot in there as Crotty placed the tag on top of the foot. And obviously, the home plate umpire does not have the necessary replay to him. But that was a bang-bang call, and it was not a good throw by Mitchie from second either. And Crotty had to full lunge over. But nonetheless, the Miners, after only having 2 hits in the whole game before this, have a 4-3 lead. And this inning has completely blown this game open. Or I shouldn't say open, but totally in favor of the Miners as they have a 4-3 lead, still only 1 out. And runners on the corners.
A questionable call has cost the team a run. As the, or I should say has caught, no, it hasn't, both time hasn't, but gotten close the first time. But this time it did.
And White points over to first base to tell Mixon, hold that base runner on there. And this game, and the Chinooks have to get a double play here. And that's a bum by Chinea. And could not do the job there. Runner does advance from first to second. But Austin Bull is going to have to stay over there at third as Chinea could not get that ball down the line in good enough position. 2 outs now for the Miners.
Number 21, your left fielder, Elijah.
And the top of the order now for the Miners, Elijah McNamee comes up with runners on second and third, 2 away. Miners have put 4 on the board here in the bottom half of the 6th to take a 4-3 lead. And the Chinooks were well in control here, and this inning has just gone. Everything wrong that could go wrong has happened. And White misses down for ball 1. And White has pitched well in this relief appearance, but just has got some unlucky breaks. 1-0 pitch now to McNamee. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. In there for strike 1. One pitch. In there for strike 2, and White 1 strike away from getting out of this mess. One-two pitch from White. And that's hit to the third baseman, Coffey, and that's into the outfield. And that's going to be a run for the Miners. 5-3 lead now. And folks, that's baseball for you. One team can be in complete control one inning, and all it takes is a few lucky breaks and a few lucky bounces and a few errant throws. And that sounds like a lot, but it really wasn't. And the Miners now have 5 in the bottom of the 6th to give them a 5-3 lead. Mike Antico up with 2 outs, runners on the corners. 5-3 lead for the Miners now. And White is going to try to do everything he can to keep it here. That's in there for strike 1. And we just passed the 9 o'clock mark here. And hopefully that brings new things here for the Chinooks as White misses upstairs for ball 1. 1-1 pitch now for the future Masters University right-hander. Runners on the corners. 5-3 lead for the Miners. 1-1 pitch coming up for White. And that smoked foul. 1-2 count now. And the silver lining in this, if White could keep this a 5-3 lead, as the Chinook offense have shown, they can make up a 2-run deficit before. So they'll hope to do that again as they come to hit in the top of the 7th. But right now we're focused on just keeping it at a 2-run deficit as there are runners on the corners. And a 1-2 count for Antico at the plate. White sets and throws. And that's it to Mitchie at second. Mitchie has to hurry. Mitchie fields that over to Mixon. And safe is the call as Mitchie could not get that ball out quick enough. And a 6-3 lead now for the Miners. And after that unfortunate affair, runners on first and second. 2 out still for Rainer Osmus, the third baseman. 6-3 lead for the Miners as the Miners have plated 6 runs on just 1 hit here. That's inside for ball 1. And if you're the Chinooks, this is completely taken all the air out of the balloon, as the Miners have completely flipped this game upside down. 1-0 count now for Preston White on the mound. And that's ripped into left field, and that ball is going to drop, and that ball is going to get somewhere. And the Miners are going to play 1 more run. And there's going to be runners on second and third, still 2 outs. And a 7-3 lead for the Miners. And we're still in the bottom of the 6th. And the Miners seem to not be done as Andy Thomas is back up in this inning. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, 7-3 lead for the Miners. White looks in to Thomas. And a swing and a miss by Thomas there for strike 1. A 1 pitch from White. Outside for ball 1. Even count of 1-1 now to the Baylor Bear at the plate. One pitch, 2 away here, bottom of the 6th. 7-3 lead for the Miners as they plated 7 runs on 2 hits. And I said that correctly, on 2 hits. And Thomas sends that one foul for 1-2 count now for the Chinook righty. It's not a good inning for the Chinooks all over the field. Yes, they have missed pitching and fielding errors and just all over the place. Stuff to work on as White misses on the outside, ball 2. 2-2 count now facing the Miner catcher as Justin Ammons stands on deck hoping to get some hacks in this inning as well and join in on the fun. That's inside as Thomas was able to hold up there. Full count now for Thomas at the plate. No action. In the Chinook bullpen, just some guys getting warmed up down there. 3-2 pitch from White, 2 away, bottom of the 6th. And that ball is sailed foul as Third base coach and the runner on third had to duck there to avoid that ball.
Good evening, Coach Taylor.
3-2 pitch coming again for White on the hill for the Chinooks. Three-two count. White sets and throws. And that's outside, and this inning will continue as White misses outside for ball 4.
Big announcement, we've got $2 burgers. $2 burgers. Come get them while they last. And now coming to
Justin Ammons now, the Tennessee right fielder,
number 2, your right fielder, Justin.
steps to the plate. Justin Ammons now to the plate with bases loaded for the Chinooks. For the Miners. White throws. And Ammons sends that out to right field to Prees. Prees gives chase. And that's finally going to stop the bleeding for the Chinooks. And hopefully they can resuscitate themselves, as we did take a CPR class. So hopefully we can put that to use here and get some of these runs back. 7-3 lead as we head to the top of the 7th.
Leading off the Chinook 7, first baseman number 21.
And we're back now after that short break here at the top of the 7th inning. Hayden Mixon standing in with a new pitcher from the Miners in the form of Jake Butcher from Palmer, Alaska, as he puts strike one in there on the outside corner. Hayden Mixon had an impressive show of force in the top of the 5th inning with a 2-run homer to the left field. And we're hoping he can start something off like that again after a rather depressing bottom of the 6th, as the Miners managed to score 7 runs on only 2 hits and 1 Chinook error, as Butcher puts that one in for ball 1, making it a 1-2 count on the low inside corner. Butcher kicks and deals and puts that one in again high and inside, making it a 2-2 count. Butcher still shaking off the signs. Kicks and deals again. Mixon puts that down to second base, and they'll throw on to first to get the first out of the inning.
Now it's hit over to second. Brandon Chinea. See feel of that one. And Ryan, 7 runs in that last half inning. If you're the Chinooks, it seems like all confidence might have gone out in that inning. What do you do here?
Just get refocused. I mean, if they can score 7 runs in 1 inning, I mean, why not score 8 in 1, you know?
That's true. There's a big swing and a miss by Crotty for an 0-1 hole now. As Butcher winds and deals, misses down low. So that gets away from Thomas. 1-1 count now facing the Chinook catcher, Alex Crotty. That's outside for ball 2. Two on count from Butcher to Crotty. And a swing and a miss. 2-2 count now to the Mercer Bear catcher. And Johnson stands on deck. Now, if there is something to keep an eye on, this lineup does have the capability to put 4 runs on the board. But not with swings like that, as Crotty whiffs on that one for another strikeout. And Johnson going to come to the plate now.
Now batting left fielder number 14, Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy Johnson now. His Butcher misses that one down low for ball 1. And Johnson watches that one in for strike 1, even count of 1-1 now for the Minnesota Crookston right-hander Jake Butcher. Johnson fouls that one down the line to make it a 1-2 count now. And in the dirt, ball 2. Thomas able to keep that in front of him. Butcher steps back on the mound, looks into Thomas's catcher, 2-2 pitch. And that's in there for strike 3, and Johnson strikes out looking. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 7th, 7-3 Miners in firm control of this ball game. Nick Brooks now up for the Miners here in the bottom of the 7th. Preston White back on the mound once more, facing a 7-3 deficit of the Chinooks. And that one is hitting the left field, and the Miners We're going to start things right off as they ended the bottom of the sixth as Brooks gets on first pitch single to left. Austin Bull now, the GCU shortstop,
Number 15, your shortstop,
comes to the plate.
Austin Bull.
After Nick Brooks single to left. Preston White on the mound for the Chinooks, looking to get out of this inning as quickly as possible. That's the bullpen action going on, and Bull's going to lay that bunt foul off Crowdy's mask. Nobody out. Bottom of the seventh, 7-3 lead for the Miners. Runner on first. And that bunt is going to be laid foul down the line. And Bull now has an 0-2 count, facing him in the eye. Oh, 2 pitch coming up for Bull. Brooks stands on first, White on the mound. And this is outside, ball 1. White throws over to first. Brooks slides back in safe. After the quick turnaround pickoff attempt by White. One-two pitch coming from the Masters University right-hander. And that ball's down the line, foul. Chinooks looking to keep this deficit at 4 to give them a breathing chance as they have 6 outs to work with. And the main thing for the Chinooks, no matter what the end result is, if they can just keep up the confidence in the batter's box, is obviously 7-3 deficit is hard to work with, but the main thing is that this feeling does not sink in the next affair and in future games as Bull fouls that one to the left side, keeping the count where it's at, 1-2. Brooks on first, White on the mound, Bull in the batter's box, Crowdy behind the dish. 7-3 lead, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. White sets and throws. And that's just outside, ball 2 for an even count of 2-2 now, facing the Miner shortstop, batting from the left side. Brooks takes his lead on first, White looks over there as well. 2-2 pitch. And that's high. Going to load the count now full to the Miner shortstop, Austin Bull. Full count now as White throws over to Brooks at first.
And it appears that we do have some action down in the Chinook bullpen.
And White misses on a questionable ball call, and that's going to put runners on first and second, as like Ryan was saying, action going on down in the bullpen, and we'll see how long the leash is for Preston White. Down 7-3, runners on first and second, and Zach Sharpley comes to the plate here. Zach Sharpley, a USC Trojan, playing DH tonight, normally found in the catcher's position. Steps to the plate with runners on first and second, looking to increase this lead, and he lays that bunt down foul. But he's looking to increase this Miners lead to at least 5, if not more, if he can rope one down the line or over the fence somewhere. 0-1 pitch now. Coming up for the Chinook right-hander. Nobody out. Charlie gets the bunt down. White quickly over to that ball and throws over to first. And that's going to be 1 out, and the Miners are going for the throat here as they lay the sack bunt down. That is a sign of respect. Some people might view it as Bush League. I view it as a sign of respect to the Chinook lineup. As typically with a full run lead, the Miners might be thinking let their hitters hit as Brandon Chinooks comes to the plate here. But the Miners are thinking, no, we need to put as many runs as possible and do the strategic route to do that.
I mean, I see both sides of it, but I lean more on the side of the unwritten rules of baseball where if you're in the lead, it's not something you're going to do.
And Chinooks singles that out to center. And 2 runs are going to come across to score as Brooks in for the 8th run and Bull right behind him. And a 9-3 lead, and no matter if you believe in the rule or not, it worked. As the Miners, off a broken bat single by Chinooks, take a 9-3 lead, and now I would start thinking with a 6-run lead, you kind of maybe not go so much. But then again, these guys are professional, or at least one level away from professional. Some of these guys will definitely get the opportunity to play professional.
Right.
That no lead is too big because, as you see, if the Chinooks can put up what the Miners did in the bottom of the 6th, they'll be right back in this game. But that's a long way from happening. 1 away, Brandon Chinooks at first. And that's ball foul to the backstop. And an 0-1 count after McNamee fouled that one. White throws over to first to keep Chinooks honest over there. Nothing going on. White, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by McNamee. White, the 0-2 pitch to the leadoff hitter. That is right back to the backstop, and I'm thankful for that chain link fence as I did flinch. I'll admit that. As I was
Just
looking
a
at my
little bit.
computer, I did go in defense mode there.
Was it defense mode or the fetal position?
It was a mix of both. The fetal position. 0-2 pitch for White, throws back over to first. Oh, 2 pitch coming up now to the Mississippi State outfielder. And a swing and a miss. That's going to make it 2 outs now for the Miners. Mike Antico now stepping to the plate.
Number 12, your center fielder, Mike Antico.
And the Miners are working with a runner on first and 2 outs, two already across the plate just in this inning. As Antico hits to the shortstop Shackelford, and Shackelford flips to Mitchie at second. And that's going to do it as the Chinooks are done here in the bottom of the 7th, but they do plate 2. And when we come back, Chinooks have some work to do as we head to the top of the 8th. 9-3 lead for the Miners. When we come back, your Chinooks are up to the plate. Top of the 8th now as Micah Prees steps to the plate to strike one. And there for Butcher. 9-3 lead for the Miners. As Prees fouls that one in the Chinook bullpen. O2 pitch misses outside for ball one. 2-2 pitch. It's Prees. Sends that into left field, and that's a way to start things here. And the Chinooks get a base runner. And that's a good way to start things to erase this 6-run deficit. And Levi Gilcrease now to the plate. Prees takes his lead on first. Butcher looks in to the Baylor Bear. Playing center field tonight. Gilcrease takes that one in for strike one. Top of the 8th, 9-3 lead for the Miners. Nobody out, 0-1 count, facing Gilcrease. Prees stands at first. And the pitch. And that ball's in the dirt, and Prees is going to come over to second. And he advances on that ball in the dirt. And if you're the Chinooks, you have to have all hope here. One pitch. 1-1 pitch, nobody out. Prees stands at second. Gilcrease at the plate. Gilcrease lays that bunt down, and Prees is going to get to third. Butcher fields that, and Gilcrease is going to be safe for an infield single, and the Chinooks are off to good business here. As Justin Gomez, the hard-hitting DH, steps to the plate. As the Chinooks still have a lot of work to do, but this is a good start. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And the middle meat of your order up to the plate now.
Now batting, the DH number 25, Justin Gomez.
Runners on the corners for Justin Gomez. Now up to the plate. Facing the right-hander, Butcher. And a big swing and a miss by Gomez.
Gomez is also not afraid to take a hack. That was no exception there. It was a very big swing.
And that one's inside for ball one. One count now for the Miners right-hander. Prees stands at third. Gilcrease over at first. Both take their leads as Gomez faces a 1-1 count. Outside ball two. And the Chinooks hitters, yes, they should be aggressive, but definitely need to be patient here in the batter's box, as they want to make sure they take advantage of every single plate appearance here, as they have 6 more to work with, or at least 6 outs to work with. And Gomez is going to pop that up, and that's not good at taking advantage. That's out to the center fielder, Antico. 1 away, and here comes Prees, and Prees is going to come in to score. And so Gomez does do some damage there as Gilcrease goes from first to second. And a 9-4 deficit for the Chinooks as Luke Coffey now steps to the plate. The Westmont third baseman with a runner in scoring position.
Now batting, number 30, the third baseman, Luke Coffey.
Brandon Mitchie steps on deck, hoping to hit in this inning, and he likely will. But we'll see. Butcher sets and throws. Coffee watches that one in for ball one high. Gilcrease at second. Breeze just came across the score to take this 6-run deficit and make it into 5. But with enough base runners, that lead will quickly evaporate if the Chinooks can do it. Butcher looks over at Gilcrease at second and throws. And Coffee rips that to third, and a good play by Rain and Osmus. And here comes Gilcrease, and he is going to advance from second to third on that ground out. And heads up baseball there by Gilcrease. As Coffee did rip that down the line, but gathered by the third baseman. Throw to first, and Gilcrease was able to come to third on the play.
Number 9, second baseman, Brandon Mitchie.
2 outs now for Brandon Mitchie with a runner on third and a 9-4 deficit. Hoping to do something here, as he had 2 costly mistakes in that 7-run inning. As Butcher puts that one in for strike 1. Oh, 1 count now to the Australian-born Brandon Mitchie. Outside for ball 1, even up the count 1-1 now. One count, 2 away, top of the 8th. Big swing and a miss by Mitchie. 1-2 is the count. Nine-4 lead for the Miners. Top of the 8th, 2 away, 1-2 count. Coming to the Chinooks second baseman. Butcher. And that's tapped to Butcher, and he is going to toss over to first. And that's going to do it for things here in the top of the 8th. The Chinooks do get 1 run on the board, but they still down 9-4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Miners are coming to hit. And as we come to the bottom of the 8th, new pitcher for the Chinooks, Aiden Stout, puts that one in for a strike 1. And Stout hoping to keep this deficit at 5. As that one's in there for ball 1. Rainer Osmus, the third baseman from Chandler Gilbert Community College, now up for the Miners. Stout and Mitchie could not get that one. And Osmus singles to center. And there's going to be 1 away. 1 runner on. And a 9-4 lead for the Miners coming up.
Number 25, your catcher,
Andy Thomas now steps to the plate with one runner on base and nobody out in this bottom half of this inning. And Stout going to be looking for the ground ball double play here. And let's see if he can get it. Stout looks over. And Thomas fouls that one off. A 1 count. And Thomas at the plate going to call timeout. A 1 count. Osmus over at first. Stout throws over, keeping him honest. Out the 0-1 pitch. Down low for ball 1. One pitch up now for the Masters University pitcher, Stout. And that's in the dirt. And there goes Osmus from first to second. As Crotty could not control that. Two one pitch. And Thomas hits that out to right center. And the outfielders are going to give Chase Gilcrease. Going to get under that. And he's going to have a long throw to third. And this has a chance to Coffey. And just miss. And Ryan Gilcrease again displaying that great arm strength.
That was definitely pretty close. It's impressive to watch Levi throw, and that was just a little bit late.
As Osmus over there at second has pretty good speed. And Gilcrease, you see, kind of took a second or two to kind of get that crow hop ready to go. And that was a perfect throw, no bouncing or anything. And I'll guarantee you with the type of player Gilcrease is, when we talk to him after the game, he's going to say he could have done better. But I don't know about that. That's just the type of player Gilcrease is, always striving to do better and better each time. And the infield is in now as Justin Ammons comes to the plate with a 1 away. And Stout misses up high for ball 1. And if this ball is in the infield and Osmus breaks for home, I guarantee you the infielders are coming home. 1-0 pitch. Ammons fouls that one. Out of play. Even counting 1-1 now. In other Alaska Baseball League news, the Anchorage Bucks hold a 3-2 lead as they go to the 9th inning. How that would affect the Chinooks? Well, if the Bucks hold on to win, that would put them firmly in second base position. That's assuming results hold in this game. And with the Pilots losing, the Chinooks would still remain in third as they would advance to 6-6 and the Bucks to 7-5. And that ball gets past Crotty, but not enough. So Osmus holds at third. 2-1 count now for Stout. Two one count now for the Chinook righty as Ammons goes and talks to the third base coach there. And the 2-1 pitch coming up from Stout soon. With 1 away, bottom of the 8th. And Ammons sends that one foul as well. Two count now. Facing the University of Tennessee product, Justin Ammons, with 1 away, bottom of the 8th, 9-4 lead for the Miners. And Ammons watches that one down low over ball 3. Three-two pitch now for Stout. And Stout misses down low. And Ryan, if you're the pitching coach, Chris Beck, do you get another arm warmer facing a 9-4 deficit?
I mean,
You
at
keep
this
your arms
point,
fresh.
there's the chance that you could have someone try and get loose, but there's also, you know, with the score being as it is right now, you could just leave Aiden on the mound here. I mean, it just kind of depends.
And it does depend here, as if Chris Beck, obviously you want to be competitive, but as in this shortened summer league, you really don't get many days off, and these pitchers have to sometimes go back to back. If you're down 9-4 and potentially down 10-4 or 11-4, possibly, you might, in a sense, be waving the white flag and saying, you know what, we're going to take this loss. Or potentially we're just going to, not push for the win, I should say, to keep our arms fresh and go at it in the next few days. Obviously not what you'd prefer, but at least you can understand it from the coaching side of things, as Stout misses for ball one. One away here, runners on the corners, 9-4 lead for the Miners, bottom of the eighth. 1-0 pitch. Down low in the dirt. Good by Crotty to keep that ball in his glove. 2-0 count now. And in this game, it didn't affect the game whatsoever, but the rain has held off. And I'm sure right when this game ends, just a few hours later, these rain clouds will be well over this field. And Stout misses down low to Nick Brooks, the Hearst baseman. 3-0 count now. And let's see here what Brooks does with runners on the corners and Austin Bull on deck. The Miners, essentially from the starting point to the beginning of the bottom of the sixth, as Stout misses down low for ball four. That's going to load the bases here. Pretty much, the Miners, from the start of this game to the beginning of the bottom half of the sixth, could not get anything going. And since then, they've been getting everything they could have asked for, as they put 9 runs on the board on 6 hits. Now Austin Bull comes to the plate with a bases loaded situation with only 1 out and facing Aiden Stout. Bull has a chance to increase this lead even more. Stout throws and Bull takes that one down low, and Stout struggling to find his command here. One 0 pitch with 1 away. In there for strike 1 to the GCU shortstop. 1-1 count, 1 away. Bottom of the 8th. Down low for ball 2. Two 1 count, 1 away, bottom of the 8th. And that gets past Crotty. And Osmus is going to come from third to score. 10-4 lead now. And Ammons goes from second to third on that play, and Brooks goes from first and second. And a 10-4 lead now for the Miners is Austin Bull, facing a 3-1 count, will still get a chance here to do some damage with runners on second and third and a 3-1 count with 1 away. Chinook infield does come in here. And that's up high, and that's going to be back-to-back walks here as Ammons stands on third, Brooks at second, and now Bull at first.
Now batting number 14, your DH, Zach Sharpley.
Zach Sharpley now, the USC DH, also can catch, but tonight in the DH spot comes to the plate with bases loaded. Stout missed outside. Crowdy has to lunge to keep that one in front of him. Chris Beck going to have a meeting on the mound here with his right-hander just to calm him down and get him on the right path.
Hey, folks, the next Miners home game this Sunday, the 25th of June. It'll be Big M and Capstone Family Medicine Day at the park. Game time, 4 o'clock Sunday, 4 o'clock. And another reminder, that pancake breakfast coming up on Saturday, 9 o'clock at the Moose Lodge here in Palmer. Make sure you check that out. Great food, great company.
Stout back in with bases loaded, and that ball is fouled behind us here. Zach Sharpley up to the plate here. 1-1 pitch now for the DH. And a swing and a miss by Sharpley. Ammons at third, Brooks at second, Bull at first. 1-2 pitch. And a nice pitch. Sharpley was able to get some wood on that to stay alive. One-two pitch coming up for Stout. And a swing and a miss by Sharpley. Two outs now in the bottom of the eighth. 10-4 lead. That's in for ball one by Stout to Brandon Chinooks, the second baseman. Two outs here, bases loaded. 10-4 lead for the Miners. Stout sets and throws. In there for strike one to the Miners' second baseman. On deck is the top of the order. So Stout will be looking to get out of things right now. Outfielders come in as they're throwing if a single gets to them. And Chinooks over to Shackelford, and Shackelford is going to throw to Mitchie. And that's going to do it for the bottom of the eighth. When we come back, it's time to take out the rally caps, folks. As the Chinooks are down 10-4 as we head to the top of the ninth. We'll be back. And as we come to the top of the ninth, Aaron Shackelford up to the plate. 10-4 deficit. Facing the Chinooks. And the first pitch to Shackelford. In there for strike one. From Jake Butcher. The Miners' right-hander on once again. 0-1 count facing Shackelford. Shackelford rips that to Chinooks at second. Chinooks throws over to first base, Nick Brooks, and that's one away now. 2 outs away now for the Miners to complete this win. Hayden Mixon, who had a 2-run homer in the top of the fifth, seems like years ago, comes to the plate now. 1 out, top of the ninth, 10-4 lead for the Miners. Butcher the pitch. Misses down low, ball one. Jake Butcher, a native of Palmer, Alaska, from Minnesota Crookston, hoping to close things out here for the Miners. And that's right back. An impressive play by Butcher to knock that ball down. And throws over to Brooks, and that's going to take Mixon out of this ball game. 2 outs now, and the Chinooks' last hope, Brandon Mitchie, steps to the plate.
Now batting number 17, catcher Alex Crotty.
Alex Crotty. the catcher of the night, steps to the plate. Stands as last hope for the Miners, for the Chinooks. Crotty takes that ball down, and that kicks to the backstop. 1-0 count now. 10-4 lead for the Miners. In this top half of the ninth, 1 out away from getting to a 9-3 record. The 1-0 pitch, and Crotty takes that one down low for ball 2. Jeremy Johnson stands on deck, hoping to get a swing in this inning to keep this game alive. 2-0 pitch, 2 outs, top of the ninth. Crotty out to third is Osmus, and Osmus throws over to Brooks, and that's going to do it in this ball game as the Miners come back from a 3-0 deficit to win 10-4. And on this game, the Miners advance to a 9-3 record. And their next game is June 21st as they face the Anchorage Bucks. And your Chinooks fall to 6-6. And the Chinooks will be back home tomorrow against the Pilots. We'll take a quick break here, but Ryan and I will be back for a quick post-game analysis of this 10-4 defeat. We'll be back. Ryan, you don't have your headset on. And just like this ball game, we're off to a little bit of a rocky start. 10-4 defeat for the Chinooks. Ryan, obviously, it's a depressing loss when you have a 3-0 lead and all just blows up. Is there any silver lining, anything to take away?
I mean, got to be careful. Got to do the little things every day and make sure you're not making costly errors. And walking guys, that kind of creates problems every now and then. So
yeah. And Ryan, you kind of hit on the nail of the head. Those costly mistakes, as there are several errors and several miscues out there on the field that instead of having this game blow up to a 7-3 lead at the end of 6, there would have been a chance the Chinooks would have been either tied or having a 3-2 lead, which would completely change the course of this game. But Ryan, when you were watching, we were talking during that quick break, the pitching changes, you thought maybe leaving Mike Batten out there. Is that what you would have done?
I mean, I probably would have left him out there for the inning. We've seen the situations with hit runners on first or second, or even the bases loaded, where he's come out of it almost unscathed. And, I don't disagree with the move to Mobbs there, but it could have gone either way. There was the chance.
Definitely is. Hopefully Jamison Mobbs, he was taken out of the game after not having a good performance. He was pointing to his right shoulder, his pitching arm. So hopefully everything's good there, but we will definitely get the latest on that and either tweet that out or get that to you tomorrow night. But, you can't really think about this loss. That does put the end in the 5-game winning streak, as that is a little sad as we were looking forward to extending that. But no matter what, we're back at home tomorrow at Lee Jordan Field hosting the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And Ryan, we've seen we can beat them.
Yes, we've seen we can beat any team here, and I don't think tomorrow is any exception. So we're looking forward to tomorrow and hopefully play a little better and
hopefully
shake today off and know that, sometimes baseball is baseball. It's going to happen. You're not going to win every single game. and got to move on.
And that is what we will do up here. I believe it is Tyler Weekly on the mound tomorrow against the Pilots. And after we fill the minors, we will come in with a 6-6 record. But we will see you tomorrow night. Ryan, any last words?
Nope, we'll see y'all tomorrow night.
All right. And with that, the Miners beat the Chinooks 10-4. We'll be back at home facing the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. God bless. Have a good night.